right, Matrixx and Rhodes show supporters. Well, I suspect very heavily that one of the reasons Jon Stewart, or maybe the only reason Jon Stewart, came back to The Daily Show is because President Trump is running for president. So these guys that have Trump derangement syndrome and the left-wing media, and look, that's what Jon Stewart is, saw an opportunity to come back and try to trash Trump. I don't know why these guys think at this point that they're pulling any weight with any lucid or intelligent voters. I don't get it, but nonetheless, Jon Stewart goes out there, I believe once a week now, to not such great ratings as I've done a video on. He goes out there to trash Trump in standard operating procedure fashion for the Stephen Colberts, the Jimmy Kimmels, and the Jon Stewarts, right? Well, one of the things they love to pounce on is the Letitia James Trump overvalued real estate fraud case, which is, it's fraud, all right. I mean, the case itself is bullshit. We know it's a political witch hunt, right? So he's gone out there and he's run his mouth about it. And one of the things that happened in all this was you've had various members of the New York business scape come out and slam everything that's going on here. We talked about it in a video yesterday. The fact that people are getting nervous about letting their political feelings be heard up there because they're afraid as business owners and these real estate guys, they're concerned that they're going to be targeted next. Not over any wrongdoing, overvaluing real estate and things of that nature. Trying to act like that's not that's unusual exactly, if that's actually happened. And the fact is, we all know they greatly undervalued the properties of Trump. And I'm talking about the judge and, of course, that sham artist, Letitia James. Well, nonetheless, see, what shouldn't happen is guys going out there and running their mouths when there is a way for them themselves to be exposed, which is what's happened here with Jon Stewart. He has been exposed for doing exactly what supposedly Trump did, which is overvaluing his property. Oh, man. Yikes. Yep, you're seeing that right there. That's the Gateway Pundit. That's the post-millennial. He overvalued a New York City apartment he had by over 800%. Uh-oh. Yeah. Letitia James, we are waiting for you to go after Jon Stewart next. We all know that won't happen, right? Jon Stewart recently went after Trump on The Daily Show, claiming Trump overvaluing his property, as Letitia James' case claims, was not a victimless crime. In truth, it wasn't a crime at all. It's standard operating procedure in real estate deals. But as it turns out, Jon Stewart did exactly the same thing with his New York City apartment. Uh-oh. So, the comedian Jon Stewart ranted this week that Donald Trump's civil real estate case overvaluing properties was not, quote, victimless. Yet when it came to his own home, Stewart benefited from a similar inflation. But it didn't take long for internet sleuths to look into Stewart's own property history, which shows his New York City penthouse sold for 829% more than its assessed value. Records confirmed by that would be the New York Post. In 2014, Stewart sold his 6,280 square foot Tribeca duplex. My God, they got duplexes that big, to financier Parag Pandey for $17.5 million. The property's asking price at the time is not available in listing records. But according to a 2023-2024 assessor records obtained by the Post, the property had the estimated market value at only $1.882 million. What? The actual assessor valuation was even lower at $847,174. Oh, yeah. Pot calling the kettle black, I see. Records also show that Stewart paid significantly lower property taxes, which were calculated based on that assessor valuation price. Precisely what he called Trump out for doing in his Monday monologue. Yeah. By the way, a bunch of people called him out on it. Iron law of woke projection never misses. There's the Post article right there. Hey, Jon Stewart, when will you volunteer to plead guilty and pay the difference in taxes? Or has this jogged your memory to the fact that assessed values for taxes are almost universally lower than sales prices pretty much everywhere on earth? Looking forward to your apology. Oh, no, I want him prosecuted. Now, let's not have any apologies here. Let's go straight to prosecution, just like you did Trump. And look, everybody and their mother knows. I don't care what state you're in. I mean, generally speaking, the value you're going to sell it for is more than it was assessed for. We all know that, all right? Jon Stewart sold his home for many millions more than the valuation he was taxed on. Admit you're wrong at Jon Stewart or claim that the U.S. should start prosecuting millions of people, including yourself. Letitia James is probably going to charge Stewart any moment now. And of course that's not going to happen because that's not what any of this is about, right? Right? Now, Stewart had played a clip of CNN's Laura Coates interviewing Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, who said the ruling in the case, quote, didn't go over well in the real estate industry. Coates responded that Trump had been found liable for falsifying business records in the second degree, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, and conspiracy due to asset inflation. Quote, everything that you just listed off is done by every real estate developer everywhere on earth in every city. This has never been prosecuted. And then Stewart got mad. How he is not this mad about overvaluations in the real world because they are not victimless crimes. Money isn't infinite. A loan goes to the liar, doesn't go to someone who's giving a more honest evaluation. So the system becomes incentivized for corruption. The Attorney General of New York knew that Trump's property values were inflated because when it came time to pay taxes, Trump's undervalued the very same property. Oh, be careful what you call out. Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart paid significantly lower property taxes because of his assessed valuation, which is what Trump was called out for. According to Real Deal, Panday, the guy that bought the property from Jon Stewart, resold the condo in 2021 for $13 million. 26% less than what he bought it for. Interesting. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida has been assessed at only $18 million. Yeah, it's valued at something in the range of like $270 million, I think. Wow. And there's no way in hell Letitia James will ever even utter the words Jon Stewart out of her mouth unless he has her on there for some brave, stunning, and courageous reason to push her agenda and Biden's agenda. Let's be real. He's lurking in the background on all of these things. Yikes. Sometimes you want to watch what you say, Jon Stewart. You might get called out for doing the exact same thing and benefiting from the exact same thing. Hell, this is something that I always thought was just standard operating procedure anyway. Crazy. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.